So in this video, I'm going to share with you one-on-one training on how to master selling life insurance over the phone. I want to share with you sales techniques and ultimately how I am training my team to sell hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of final expense over the phone. I want to give you the training that will help you unlock and sell more life insurance. And ultimately, I am going to share with you all the tips and tricks that I've used to sell hundreds of thousands of dollars of life insurance on my own pen. Ultimately, before I start this video, my goal is to help you succeed in final expense and life insurance and selling it over the phone, and I'm going to give you all the resources and tools. Below in the comment section, I am going to give away my script all for free, completely free. It should be a PDF that you're going to download, click, and have access to. A lot of people have been saying, hey, Peter, I just want your script. Well, here it is in the bottom of the video. In this video, in this training, I am going to share with you how you can make people feel dumb for not buying life insurance from you. I am going to give you a script walkthrough, the question asking framework, and ultimately how you can become the product that someone would not want to resist from buying. So for example, I want to help you say things to get people to admit that they need the life insurance, and secondly, help you as a person build the character traits, the communication skills to become the best product that them want to buy life insurance from you. And if they do not, you're going to be confused. You're going to be like, why would they not want to buy life insurance from me? And ultimately help you win the life insurance game. First thing I want to jump into is product. You becoming the product. Before I jump in this and tell you how to ask the questions the right way, who are you as the product? Do you have trust in your voice? Do you have conviction in your product? Do you have a smooth sales process? Do you know exactly what you're selling? Do you know exactly how you provide value? And ultimately, do you believe that you are the best sales individual in this industry? If not, we're going to change that right now. And ultimately, I know I talk really fast, but I want to give you guys the energy that you need to display and convict when you're on the phone. When you're on the phone, people need to hear your tonality. People need to hear that you're warm, that you're loving, that you're trustworthy, that you're a great individual, and that you love helping people. Without that first being checked, we cannot proceed. And ultimately, if you as the person want to genuinely help, genuinely love, and help make an impact on somebody else by selling a product that's going to solve their problem, this sales training gets really, really easy for you. The goal is to teach you right now by asking questions to make them feel stupid for not buying life insurance. You might think, what does that mean? Ask questions to get people to admit to you that they need this product that you have and you have the solution by asking the right questions. For example, question number one, now that you have my script downloaded, let's jump into it. So back to you here, John. Kind of fill me in. What motivated you to start looking for life insurance? Now, I'm going to stop you there. Before you did this, you've explained him the credibility. We just talked about this. Before you ask question one, you've already told him, John, my name is Peter Roberts. I'm going to be your trusted advisor. I'm going to be here to serve your family like no other. John, if you need my cell phone number, if you need my driver's license, if you need any other piece of information to me, for you to know who I am, that I am real, that I can serve you and ultimately protect your family, let me know. I'll give that to you. So before you ask any questions, the character of who you are needs to be displayed and the trust needs to be instantly built. So once that trust is built, move on. Question one. John, so back to you here. This is really all about you here, John. Kind of fill me in. What had you motivated to start looking around for some life insurance? In this script, you're going to see the goal of question one is to get a clear example or clear statement. I need life insurance. Oh, I'm looking to leave money behind to my family, John might say. Well, John, when you say you are looking to leave money behind to your family, what do you mean by that? Or when, John, you say that you are just getting older, what do you mean by that? And the first, question that you ask, most people are going to tell you, oh, it's about that age, or no, I just started shopping, or I started looking around. Your goal is to admit or get them to admit to you that they need life insurance. So ask the question, John, and kind of fill me in. When you say you're just getting older, or it's about time, what does that mean? What does that mean? And it's a question that's asked with curiosity, with like, I'm trying to figure this out. John, when you say that you're just trying to prepare things and get things in order, what do you mean by that? Oh, I'm just looking for my burial expenses to be taken. Okay. So John, you just want to make sure that you have something in place to cover your burial expenses. Is that right? Cool. Point one, identify why they're there. Second point is understanding the pain. This is the most important. This is ultimately where you make people feel dumb. This is the most important part of the training that I need you to digest, to understand, that I continue to harp back into my team that has helped them succeed in life insurance and help me succeed in life insurance, that you need to understand, fathom, and break down. Okay? Got it? Cool. Pain. Why do they need this solution? What are they going through in their life? You need this person to break down clearly how they feel without this product, what's going on without this product, why this is important, and what is worst case scenario if they never get this product. Let me explain this. So question number 1 in this portion, or question number 2 as it shows in the script that you now have access to. And John, kind of fill me in. Since you do not have any coverage in place, what are you most concerned about? Question. This is what we are going to be doing. We're going to be asking questions to get them to admit to us that they need life insurance, that they are stupid if they end this conversation without the life insurance. So John's going to tell you, I just don't want anybody paying for my burial expenses, or I don't want my brother paying for my burial expenses. Whatever it is, you need him to tell you, I don't want someone else to handle the bill. John, when you say you don't want anybody else to pay for the bill, what do you mean by that? Well, I just don't want my brother to be in a position to, pay for my burial expenses. Okay. So it sounds like that you don't want your brother to be kind of stuck with any funeral arrangements or anything like that. Is that about right? Yeah, that's about right. Second thing is to dive deeper. On your paper, what you need to do, if you're not making sales, you're not asking deep enough questions, and this is exactly how you fix that. And John, I know this is a tough question, and what would that look like if you never did have the life insurance in place? Would Johnny Jr., would your brother have to knock on doors, start a GoFundMe? What would he have to do? So since you don't have a solution in place, basically, let me summarize this to you. What would your brother have to do since you don't have this right now? Since you don't have this product, that there's a clear problem, what would that look like if you never got that taken care of? Cool. So John, John would respond, yeah, he'd probably have to go into debt. He'd probably have to, pull from his savings account, or, he'd have to knock on doors. I don't know what he would do. It'd be really tough. Okay, so you have a blanket statement. It'd be really tough. Yeah, he would have to do that. The goal is to ask the next question to get the answer from the client on why they need to fix this. For example, and John, when you say it's going to be really tough for your little brother, can you explain to me what do you mean by that? What would that look like when you say tough? Oh man, he's not in a position to do any of that. He got 2 kids. He can't do any of that. Okay. So John, I guess what would you guys have to do if God forbid, and I'm sorry if I'm overstepping boundaries here, if something happened to you tomorrow, what would the family have to do? Oh, I don't know. They would probably just be in a really tough position. They'd have to scramble around. I don't know. It would be really, really bad. Okay. And John, it sounds like that you as a brother would not want to put your brother in that position. Is that about right? Cool. So you see that. Explain. Now, John might say, yeah, he has it. My brother's in a good spot. He has the money. He can do it. Cool beans. I love that one. Well, John, that is awesome. So John, I guess here's a question to make them feel dumb. So John, I guess if your brother, does have the financial means to pay for your burial expenses, why not just have him, come out of pocket for the $10,000 to $15,000? Why not just have him do it? You see that question? It puts now him in the driver's seat. He's going to tell me why he needs the life insurance. Well, I don't want to do that. My brother has 2 kids, and when you say you don't want to do that, I guess why can you kind of explain why that would be important to not have your brother pay for your funeral arrangements? I'm just curious. Well, my brother's got 2 kids. He's my best friend. He ain't gonna do that. Okay, so it sounds like that, your brother probably could come out of pocket, but you just, as a man, would not want to have him in that position or have him come out of his own pocket to pay for your funeral expenses. Is that right? Perfect. 2 things here. Get them to admit it, and then ultimately label them as a man, as a woman, and help label them as the problem. Now, the third thing is you need to dive a little bit deeper. Now, John, you mentioned, he could, but I guess how would that make you feel knowing that you could go to bed at night knowing that your brother would not have to come out of pocket for any of these expenses? How would that finally make you feel? Emotional. Well, it would make me feel really good. I wouldn't have to worry about this anymore. As a mom, if it's a mother, I would feel great. I don't want my kids doing, okay, so it sounds like this really could be a solution to all your heartache and all your burdens that have been weighing on you. Is that about right? Okay, perfect. Now, Second thing is you got a clear why, a clear pain. Now we got to understand why they haven't done it. So John, man, you sound like this is very, very important to you. Why, like, kind of tell me, what's been kind of holding you back in the past? Why haven't you really moved forward? Oh, things have been really, really expensive. Okay, when you say expensive, what have they been telling you? Oh, they've been telling me $80 for 10,000 of coverage. They've been telling me $60 for 40. And okay, gotcha. So John, it sounds like to me having, you value having the life insurance, but you just need something that's going to really fit the budget and be comfortable and affordable for you. Is that about right? Yeah, that's really about it. So, John, it sounds like you really need a solution to give you that peace of mind, but you're just really concerned that you haven't found anything that's fit the budget, right? Okay. And John, what would that look like if you never did get an option in place? Let's say it was always too expensive for you. What would that do for you and your family? Question. Well, I don't know. My family's gonna have to pay for it. Well, John, I know you mentioned you don't want to do it, but like, let's say that you never were able to muster up the $60 to $70 to pay for a plan. Would you say like a smaller option? Would you say having a little bit's better than nothing? He's gonna say, yeah. I would say having a little bit's better than nothing. Okay, well, John, when you say a little bit's better than nothing, what do you mean by that? And then you're always breaking them down. Well, I would say if I could get a little something that fits my budget, that'd be, obviously better than having nothing. So you have a clear why, clear plane, and he's basically telling you right now, you're asking him questions to admit to you that he needs life insurance and that he will even look at cheaper options to make sure that this problem is taken care of. So then you're going to go into the sales process of moving forward, asking other questions. And John, other than those burial expenses, question number 4, are there any other bills, large debts, or anything else that you'd be worried about leaving behind to your brother? No, not really. And the last thing is to summarize it all. The most important thing that you always want to continue to do is like, okay, John, just to make sure I'm hearing you out, it sounds like that you know that your brother could pay for this, but ultimately you don't want to put him in that position. You know, as a brother and as a man, that you would never want to lay your head at night knowing that, your brother John is going to have to fork out $10,000 to $15,000 for your burial expenses because he has 2 kids. And ultimately you want a solution so that you can rest easy at night knowing that he is always taken care of and that you as a man are providing some type of option to make sure your family is taken care of. Does that sound about right? Yeah, that's about right. So he's bought in. You've asked the questions. There's clear plan, clear why he needs to make the decision. Ultimately, he's agreeing right now that he needs to move forward. So when you go to the close, so John, I got 3 options for you: $10,000, a $15,000, and a $20,000 option. What would kind of, I guess, feel like it would give you the most peace of mind, that 10 or the 15,000? I don't know, the 10,000 or the 15. I'm not really sure. Objection handling. The goal of everything is to make them feel so stupid in the body, in the discovery, in the process of asking questions, so that when you get to the close, you can handle the objections and ultimately make them feel stupid for not buying. Check this out. You can use all their previous words, all the things that they told you, all their pain, all their heartaches, everything that he has just blah, blah, blah about to you against him. Well, John, when you say you need to think about it, like, can you kind of fill me in? I'm just curious. When you say you need to think about, what do you need to think about it? I don't know. It's, I just want to think about if I should go with the 10,000 or 15,000, or I just need to, I need to think about it before I make a decision. Well, John, and let me ask you this: when you say you need to think about it, are you just not sure if you need it, or is it just the price? 2 biggest objection. I need the coverage. Okay, it's just probably the price. Well, John. And forgive me for saying this, but you told me earlier that, having just a little something is better than nothing. John, you told me earlier that, you never want to put your brother in a position to pay for your burial expenses and you finally need a solution for this. Is that about right? Yeah. So, John, it sounds like to me that it's not so much that you don't need the life insurance. It's more the price is the biggest concern for you. Is that about right? Okay, so it sounds like, and correct me if I'm wrong, you really want an option so you can go to bed at night knowing that your family's taken care of, but you just really need something that is comfortable, that's feasible for you, that fits the budget, that doesn't break the bank, and can be there for you forever. Is that really your biggest concern? Yeah, that's my biggest concern. Okay, so John, how about we do this? We start you off with that smaller option, that $10,000 for that $42.36. We'll go ahead and set this up for you so that you have at least some option at night, and you can feel like as a man you did something to protect your brother, and you can always, add on to it later down the road. I am going to be your trusted life insurance advisor, and ultimately I am going to make sure that your family is always taken care of. So that $10,000 for $46, and then go ahead and get you qualified and set up here so that your family is finally protected. Does that sound fair? Yeah, that works. And then you're into the application. A few things that I did there. Ultimately, you've asked the questions. You've told him that you're going to, ask the questions. He's admitted to you that he needs the life insurance, that he needs to get this taken care of. He's scared to make a decision. Most people, as a salesman, and when you ask questions, really good questions to make them feel stupid for not buying, is that they are just concerned about something. They have something that's concerning, and ultimately they're scared to make a decision. Your goal as a sales individual is not to force people to make a decision. It is to help them make a decision that they've been putting off. And that is your goal. And when you ask the questions, you hold people accountable, you use their previous words against them, and you ultimately, like I said in the beginning, use yourself as the product, and you sell him, John, I am going to be, with conviction, your agent, your advisor that's going to be here to make sure that your brother here is here. I am going to be that person that's going to make sure that your family is taken care of. And that, John, I am going to be the person to make sure that at the end of the day, whatever option you pick with the 10 or the 15,000, that your brother is taken care of. So, John, does that 10,000 or the 15,000 make most sense for you? When you have that high level of conviction, that high level of grit, that I'm going to serve you, I am going to take care of you, and I am going to be the best life insurance agent in this entire world, because no one can outserve me, no one can outlove me, and no one can outconvict me, you'll make the sale. All you have to do is ask really good questions, open people up, break down their words, and ask another question to help them admit to you that I need life insurance. The script has it. The script's below. Build the conviction, build the understanding of the product, and this is the sales training that I want to give you, and this is exactly how I train my agents day after day, month after month, and I help them sell 10 to 15, 18 policies per week with this same framework. Love you guys. Hope it helps, and cheers. Peace.